Okay, thank you everyone for joining us for the Department of Biological Sciences Winter 2026 Virtual Open House. Today's Monday, March 30th. We expect the runtime for our open house to be from now until about 1 o'clock. The way that we have it structured, we'll go over the program. I'll introduce you to the faculty and staff of the department for our graduate programs. And then we have a couple of alumni that are here today as well, and we'll allow them a couple of minutes to talk about their experience in our program. And then, of course, we'll highlight some other alumni that are not here with us today. And then we'll talk a little bit about the admissions process for our program. And after that, we'll have a question and answer session. For anyone that is interested in asking any questions, there is a Q&A that you can submit your questions. And then at the end, we'll go over and answer anything that's been submitted in our Q&A section. So first, hello everybody. My name is Megan Troy. I'm the Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions for Halmos College, specifically working with the Department of Biological Sciences for students interested in our Masters of Science in Biological Sciences. On screen, you can see my contact information. Feel free to take a screenshot or write it down. I'll also share this a little later in the presentation. If you have any questions, I'm happy to speak with you about the things that are going on in our wonderful department. I'd like to introduce to you guys the Dean of Halmos Colleges of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Robin Cooper. If you are a current student here at NSU, you maybe have seen her in the Parker building. If you are going to be new to NSU, coming to us this year or next year, be happy to know that she has been in this position just coming over a year now, and she's been doing a wonderful job, and we're happy to have her. Just a little bit about NSU. We are a university that is a private institution that's located in Southern Florida, but we do have campuses all around the state and a couple of other states as well. But specifically for the students that are interested in our biological sciences program, you would be here on our main campus in Davie, Florida. The main campus is about 300 acres, but like I mentioned, we have some other properties around the state. And for our students that are in our research program, some have opportunities to go to our oceanographic campus in Dania Beach, only about 20 minutes from the main campus. I love to point out some of the resources that are available to our students. Just as undergraduate students have the availability of all the facilities on campus, so do our graduate students. So the Alvin Sherman Library, Research and Information Technology Center is the heart of our campus. And of course, the Don Taft University Center. That's where the main eateries are on campus. The fitness center, I always like to tell graduate students that you have access to the fitness center, just like the undergrads. Just sometimes you need to blow off a little steam, you can head over there. Here are just some other resources that are available on campus. If you see down in that corner, you see the NSU boat. Like I mentioned, that oceanographic center that's available to some of our research students. It's a great facility. So if you're ever a part of some of the research that's going on over there, you may get a chance to do maybe even shark tagging with our marine department from time to time. Our Department of Halmos College is divided into a couple of different departments. Like I mentioned, we have the two campuses, main campus Oceanographic Center in Dania Beach, but we also have about 7 different academic departments. The program that you guys are interested in is a part of the biological sciences. Here are all of the degree programs that are currently being offered through Halmos College, our master's degree selection, and then our doctoral selection. The biological sciences program offers 3 concentrations that we'll talk a little bit more about today. So for our department specifically, our main location is in the Parker Science Building. I apologize for that error. Main campus is the Parker Science Building. They are located on the 3rd floor, and all of their offices are there. If you ever have questions, we have Gwen, who I'll introduce shortly, who is available to talk to all of our students about the graduate programs as well. So within this program, we offer 3 concentrations: health studies, research, and bioinformatics. We'll talk briefly about each of these, and we'll have the department chair and the program director speak with you as well. So I'm going to turn it over quickly to our department chair, Dr. Emily Smith-Lavin, so she can introduce herself and her staff.
We're so glad to have you all here. So, yep, I'm Dr. Emily Schmidt, and I've got with me Dr. Deanne Rutnerine and Dr. Matthew Johnston. Together, we help to manage the 3 concentrations in the Department of Biological Sciences Master's Program. So you're going to be hearing about us with our research concentration, our bioinformatics concentration, and our health studies concentration. That picture we just went past, that was us celebrating commencement with all 3 of our concentration graduates there in the Parker building, and you'll get to hear about some of the highlights from alumni who came through each program. So we can go on to the next slide. And I'll let Dr. Rutnerine introduce herself for a moment.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dr. Deanne Rutnerine. I'm Program Director in the Department of Biological Sciences, and I do teach a number of courses in the Health Studies concentration. So those of you that will be students in that concentration, I will be seeing quite a bit of you, and we'll speak further about the concentration later on this morning.
Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Johnston. I am help manage the bioinformatics and the research concentration. I also do teach in both of those concentrations some of the actual program or actual courses. And here coming up, we'll talk a little bit more about the distinction between these 2 concentrations and health concentration.
Oh, hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. I'm the academic coordinator for the graduate program. I'm also the advisor. If you need help with registration, classes to take for research students, your defense scheduling, I ultimately will confer your degree and help you with graduation. Also a liaison for faculty and just overall keeping track of all of the program curriculum and all the students, making sure you're all on track with the correct classes. But any overall general questions, I am available. There's my email there. Usually I send you an email, and my phone number is also there. You can reach me anytime. And thank you again.
Thank you, everyone. So just again, a little bit about the biological sciences programs. There's lots of opportunities for our students within these programs. So when it comes to the research concentration, the areas of studies that you guys can look into, they are vast. And talking with our faculty members to figure out what might work best for you. The faculty members that work within the department are there to help you with your success, whether it's in research, if it's in health studies, moving on into your professional programs, and then the opportunities of learning within the NSU university itself. So next, we're going to move on to each of the programs that we offer. Oh, sorry, I did mention the different areas of research itself. They're vast, so you have a lot of opportunities. And if there's something on this list that that isn't on this list that you're interested in, of course, you can reach out to our faculty to see who have those interests as well. So for the formatting of our programs, there are 3 different programs, and the reason that they all have different formatting is because of what they entail. So our health studies program is done fully in person on our Davie campus. That program starts in the summer. Our research program can be done either fully in person or hybrid. So hybrid meaning that you have some opportunities to take some of your coursework online. For students that have an interest in doing online, you also, once you're an admitted student, you can talk to Gwen and also Dr. Johnston to figure out what would work best for you as an admitted student. And then our bioinformatics program can be done fully online, so from anywhere in the world, or you have some options because their classes have some overlap with our research program in taking some of your classes in person as well. This is a great opportunity for students who may be interested in having a position on campus to do some classes online and some in person. So I will turn it back over to Dr. Roopnarine to talk to you guys a little bit about our health studies program and its curriculum.
Okay, everyone. So with the Health Studies program, as Megan said, we are a 1-year lockstep program. We do start in the summer in June, and we go all the way through until you graduate in May. It basically we are preparing you for all aspects of the health professions. So we have students that are interested in AA, PA, dentistry, medical, optometry, etc. And for that reason, over the summer, we have a very limited curriculum. We have 2 courses, and that's because we also give you a Kaplan standardized prep course. And so we're hoping at that time that you are preparing and taking your standardized exams by September, the latest. So then you can actually apply to your programs if you would like to get in the following year. As you can see on that list, we do have a number of programs that we do have guaranteed interviews with. You have to meet certain criteria, but if you do, you can see that we have all of our NSU professional programs. We also have the DO and dental programs from Kansas City and Touro College of Osteopathic Medicine on their Montana campus. So basically, if you look here, this will be your curriculum. As I said, in the summer, you really have 2 courses, and that's in the hope that at this time you're studying for your standardized exams. But when we get back in the fall, you are going to hit the ground running because now you are going to be facing courses that are very similar to what you're going to be facing in professional school. So you have pathophysiology, pharmacodynamics, advanced regional anatomy, which includes a lab as well, and advanced biochemistry. And then in the winter semester, you have immunobio, epidemiology, integrated systems and health studies, and systems neuroscience. At the end of the program, you do have to take a comprehensive exam. The reason for this is we are trying to mimic what you will do in professional school, where you have to take your step 1 exam or your board exams after you finish your basic science classes. And this is what this would be. You have to maintain a 3.0 GPA throughout the program, and in order to graduate, you also do have to pass the comprehensive exam. You do have 2 options, 2 chances actually to take that exam.
All right, hi,
I'll turn it over.
Thanks. So for the research concentration, it's structured quite a bit differently than the health studies. We are still a 30 credit course, 30 credit program, and it's designed as a 24-month program. You can start in any semester. We have rolling admissions, so whether you want to start fall, winter, or summer, that's fine. Our students go on to do many different things in the field of biology. Some go on to PhDs. Typically, they don't go into medicine, but sometimes they do go into medicine. They work for NGOs or the government, environmental scientists. There's a lot of different paths they can take. Our students do design their own path, basically. So we do have the required courses that you have to take, but then they're able to take elective courses to kind of hone how their education. They also must develop a project, a unique project, whether that be a capstone or a thesis. And in that project, you can do whatever you really want to do as long as you have a faculty member that's willing to mentor your work. Both the capstone and the thesis culminate in a paper, a long paper, and also a defense. So at the end of the program, you stand up in front of your peers and everybody else, whoever wants to attend, and defend what you have done, and then you graduate. All students initially are on the capstone path. So to switch to the thesis path, you need to do a research proposal, have an advisor lined up, and once that is in place, then you can actually switch to the thesis. The course requirements between the two, the capstone and the thesis, are a little bit different. The thesis, you have more research credits, and the capstone, you have more coursework. So I think the next slide shows the curriculum. Now, again, the curriculum is pretty flexible in this. It's not a lockstep program, so you have to do some core courses, and then you can take electives as you see fit, and then you'll take research courses. Again, another 30 credits. At the end, you have to defend your capstone and thesis and submit this to NSU Works. NSU Works is our repository where all of our even the faculty papers go. And so that's open to the public so they can read what you've done. Just like health studies, you must maintain a 3.0 GPA throughout the program as well. So the next concentration is bioinformatics, and the bioinformatics is is quite a bit different than research. It's more similar to health studies in that it's a lockstep program. This is a 16-month program. So you start in the fall, and then you go winter semester, you take the summer off, and then your final semester is the second fall. Again, it's lockstep sequence, so you take the courses in a prescribed order. You do have one elective during the winter term that you're able to take as well. So the focus of the bioinformatics program is going to be basically analyzing data, specifically genetics data. So you'll be doing sequencing and learning all about how genomics works. However, because you're working with data, data is simply numbers and letters and things. If you happen to find yourself in a field outside of genomics afterwards, you're still going to be well prepared because you're going to be dealing with lots of large data, which is very important anymore. Graduates prepared for computational biology, genomics, basically big data and analytics, whether that be within the sciences or even outside the sciences. But we do focus on genetics. This is the curriculum. So again, lockstep, you take the courses in the prescribed order in the prescribed term. You have that one elective in the fall. You do not have a final project. Basically, you must maintain a 3.0 throughout the program. And as long as you do that and complete all the coursework, you will graduate.
Now I'm going to have each of the program directors just highlight some of their alumni. And then once we get to the screens that have the alumni that are currently here, we'll let them jump in and tell you a little bit about their experiences that they've had in our program.
So if you can imagine, we're extremely proud of our alumni. As a matter of fact, one isn't even an alumnus yet because she hasn't graduated, but she has got into the program that she desired. One thing about that I forgot to mention is we keep our class size really small, and that's because we like to give one-on-one mentorship to our students. So when you enter, you are given an advisor, a faculty advisor, and that person will be able to assist you throughout the entire program, answering any questions about career choices, etc. As you can see, Anthony graduated last year. He's currently in our osteopathic medical school here at NSU. And Kaylee is still a current student, and she got into Yeshiva University College of Dental Medicine. And she is actually not the only student that has got into programs that have not yet graduated. However, she's the only one that sent a photo so far, so that's why she's highlighted. Disha, Ashley, Lila were all from last year's program as well. Disha is now at USF in their PA program. Ashley is currently at Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine, and Lila is here also at NSU's College of Osteopathic Medicine. So is Giovanni, but Giovanni is now an M2, and he is preparing as we speak for his board exams.
So for our research students, we have Haley, Antonella, and Drew. Antonella, I believe, is here, so she can speak a little bit here in a second. As you see from where they have gone afterwards, it's a pretty broad, different directions you can go. So we have one that is an adjunct professor here that teaches for our department. Antonella works for Broward County. And then we have Drew Unitans, who he will be graduating this year, or maybe I think he might have graduated last year. He has gone on to do he's going on to do his PhD here at NSU's College of Pharmacy. So again, we're not healthcare focused. In the research concentration, you can focus on kind of whatever topic you want. And so you can, afterwards, you can go into the field of your choice, basically. So do we have Antonella here? And maybe she wants to say a couple of words.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. I'm Antonella. Thank you for introducing me, Dr. Johnston. So after I graduated in August of 2024 is when I defended my thesis. And then in January of 2025 is when I started working for the Department of Health, specifically in Broward County. And here I'm a part of the opioid prevention program. And we work directly with the CDC. We're funded by the CDC to help reduce the number of overdose deaths caused by opioids here in South Florida. And first, I started out doing um, surveillance. So I was in charge of the data of all the drugs that we were finding on the streets in Broward County and coordinating with the CDC and other federal institutions like the National Institute of Standards and Technology. So I was maintaining that data and analyzing that data. And now I moved on to contract managing specifically again for the opioid prevention program. So once you are in the field and once you have this degree, you have the opportunity to even move to like more like a because the contract managing is a little bit more like business and finance. So, it's adding onto my resume on top of like scientist and analyst and public health professional. I'm managing contracts and I'm managing money and things like that. So, yeah, it's
Thank you. I think we lost you there at the end, but thank you. So the next alumni that we have is Paisley Samuel. So Paisley has been with NSU for quite some time now. She did her undergrad here. She got a master's degree in the Department of Marine Sciences. Then she went into the bioinformatics program, got her master's in the bioinformatics, and now she is a doctoral student in oceanography, where she, I believe, is working with algae in Lake Okeechobee, but she can correct me if I'm wrong there. I believe Paisley is here as well, so I'll hand it over to her to say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Johnston. So, hi everybody. My name is Paisley Samuel. As Dr. Johnston said, I've been at Nova since undergrad. So, um, I've been here. I've been a Nova Shark for a long time. So yeah, my academic path was I first actually graduated from Nova with my master's in marine science, and that's where I started my algal work on Lake Okeechobee. And after that, so Nova has like a little certificate program for computational molecular biology. And it just so happened that they started the master's in biology, the bioinformatics concentration. So I decided to switch over, and it was a great choice on my part. And I learned all the skills that I needed to continue my work on Lake Okeechobee now. So as of right now, I'm ending my first year in the PhD program here in marine science. And pretty much what I'm doing is I am continuing my Master's of Marine Science thesis project on, and I'm looking at the microcystin, which is a toxin that is from these blooms. I'm looking at the microcystin biodegradation gene pathways and seeing basically my whole goal is to see how we can not only try and predict these blooms using machine learning methods and molecular methods, but also trying to see if we can mitigate these blooms as well and try to treat them in a way, but biologically instead of chemically. Um, so yeah, that's basically what I'm doing now. And throughout the bioinformatics, my bioinformatics career, even though I was introduced to bioinformatics before this program basically helped me gain even more skills. For example, had no clue about machine learning and AI techniques and all of that until this program. And lo and behold, now I'm trying to use it in my dissertation. So, yeah, that's me.
Thank you
Excellent.
so much. Thank you, Paisley and Antonella, for joining us today. It's always nice to hear from the alumni and what they're doing since graduating from our programs. So now I want to introduce the team that I work with. So this is our graduate admissions department, specifically for Halmos College. Many of you that are here today have spoken to me, emailed with me, received emails from me. So I am your first point of contact for the Biological Sciences graduate degree program for admission. But if for any reason I am unavailable, the rest of our team is here to assist as well. So the next slide, of course, again, I just want to provide you with my contact information. You can email me, give me a call. Please leave a voicemail if I don't answer, but give me a call, send me an email. If you would like to schedule an in-person or a virtual meeting, I'm happy to do that. I actually just jumped off of a virtual meeting with a student earlier today, but I'm happy to meet with students to go over the application process and what is required of you to get into any of these 3 concentrations. So the most important information is when can I apply and when is the deadline? So for each of our programs, because they have different start dates, it is very important to know that they also have different application deadlines. For students that are interested in our health studies program, we only admit during the summer term. So students are able to apply by May 15th of every academic year for that upcoming summer term. For our students that are interested in health studies, research, or bioinformatics, if the application is open, I always recommend applying at that time. If you are graduating in the year that you are applying, apply as soon as you think you're you're ready. My only caveat to that is if you are taking fall semester classes and you're applying for that following academic year, wait until your fall grades are in before you submit your application. So May 15th for those who are interested in our health studies program. For research, you can actually enter into the program at any term, so fall, summer, or winter. So the deadlines on here, and I do apologize, that winter one should reflect for this upcoming year. So let's change that to November 15th of 2026. And then bioinformatics, we only admit students for the fall semester, so July 17th of 2026 for this upcoming fall term. The application process. So very quickly, for students that are interested in applying to our program, there's an online application. There's a $50 application fee. The only documents that are required of you are all of your official transcripts. If you're an international student, that does mean that you do need to have your official transcripts translated or evaluated. You can go on our website to see which services you are able to use. Generally, any NACIS approved organization, a WES evaluation, those will be acceptable. All official transcripts must be sent directly to the institution. They can from your institution or through one of the third-party vendors like Parchment. You are not allowed to send your transcript directly yourself. It must come from your institution, whatever pathways that they use, or from one of those third parties or transcript evaluation companies. And then your CV or resume. What we're asking of your resume and your CV is that you list 3 references and at least one of them be an academic reference. So a biology faculty member, your biochemistry faculty member. A science one would be best recommended because this is a science-based program. If you are an international student and you come from a country that English is not the primary language, and it's not the primary language in which your institution that you earned your bachelor's degree is serviced through, then you will also need to send a proof of English language proficiency. If you have questions about what organizations you're able to do your English language proficiency through, feel free to send me an email and I will provide you with the acceptable ways in which you can provide that. If you're an international student but graduating from a US-based undergraduate program, then you will not need to provide us with the English language proficiency scores. But once you apply, it's going to ask for it, but I'll have to waive it on the back end. For GPA, this is going to be individually based. Generally, the students that are admitted to our program have a 3.0 or higher GPA. Our faculty members will look over your coursework, and while students take a lot of general education courses, they are focusing in on what you've done in your science-based coursework. So while the GPA on the screen says a 2.85, we list it that way because we understand that students may take classes in the very beginning of their academic career, and those might not be as great as we'd like them to be, but your science coursework is strong. So again, we are looking mostly at your science coursework. And for most of our students, the GPA in which they've been admitted to the university on average is over a 3.0. Next, the application itself. So for all of our students, you can apply to all 3 concentrations through the NSU graduate application. But for our health studies student, we are also now on the post-bac CAS application. So if you were filling out post-bac CAS for any other institutions, you can now apply for the health studies program on post-bac CAS as well. The most important part is once your application is listed as submitted on the application website. So that means you have clicked submit and you've paid your application fee. Then you will have another portion open up that says admissions documents where you can upload your resume or CV. So generally, once we have a completed application, I, as your admissions counselor, will then put your application together and send it off to our program directors and department chair for the committee to review your application. If the committee has any additional questions about your application, they will reach out to me, and then I will reach out to you to get that final information from them. Once we have a completed application, we generally give the committee 7 to 10 business days to make an admissions decision. If it's taking a little bit longer, that generally just means the volume of applications that have come through, which right around this time is when the volume tends to pick up. So give us a couple of additional days, but you can always reach out to me to find out where your application is in the process. So what do you do after you've been admitted? First, I will send you congratulations, of course, but in order to secure your seat in our program, you do have to pay a seat deposit. Once the seat deposit has been submitted, you will receive a follow-up email from myself and with Gwen attached to it to let her know that your seat deposit has been received, and then she will give you your next steps. Most specifically, your next steps will be included in your admissions email. Once you've submitted your seat deposit, the next couple of things that you would need to do is get yourself into the NSU, get yourself an NSU email and get yourself into the NSU Shark link. Once application registration has opened up, then at that time, students would be able to register after you've submitted your seat deposit and gotten yourself your email. Next, our tuition and fees. These are the current per credit costs for the programs. All 3 of our programs are 30 credits, so they all cost the same over their different time span. So again, the health studies program is a 1-year program, but it's also 30 credits, while research can be a 2-year program, and bioinformatics is over 3 academic semesters. So all 3 programs are 30 credits, so they all carry the same cost. Additional fees, of course, will come based off of the needs of the students, whether that is health insurance if you don't have it privately or through your family. Then, of course, the institution does require all students to carry health insurance, so that is something that can be included in your additional fees. You want to consider housing cost. There are no graduate housing available for our students on campus, but NSU does have relationships with apartment complexes around the campus. So if students are interested in housing opportunities, our housing website does provide an off-campus housing site for you to look for what's available around the campus. Financial aid. For students that have questions about financial aid, once you've been admitted and submitted a FAFSA application, then you can reach out to our financial aid office to see what financial aid packages will be available to you as a student. Outside of traditional financial aid, there are scholarships that may be available to you. It does depend. The university does them a little bit different. Each department may have something, and I'll talk about that shortly. The college itself, through Halmos College, if there's something available, and then institution. You will have to go on the Nova Southeastern University scholarship page in order to search to see what is available, figure out what qualifications you might have to have in order to apply, and see what application deadline they have. All scholarships for graduate students are dependent on funding and whether or not current students have that funding or if they're graduating to make that funding available for new students to come in. For the Department of Biological Sciences specifically, there are a couple of opportunities that are available to our students. So the first is the graduate teaching assistantship. So the application for this is now opening up. So all of our admitted students, once you've been admitted and you're submitting your seat deposits, Gwen will reach out to let you know that you can apply for the graduate teaching assistantship. That application is opening up shortly. This award comes as a $10,000 award per semester, 5,000 submitted to your tuition directly, and the other 5,000 is paid as an hourly for teaching labs each semester. So you'll be paid a stipend through the semester that you are a TA. Then we have the graduate lab and large lecture assistant position. This is $14 per hour for up to 20 hours per week. Again, this is something you'll have to apply for directly with Gwen. Once that's available, she will let all of our admitted students know what's available to apply. Health Studies Scholarship Competition. So this has an application that is available to students once you are registered for both summer and fall by May 15th. So again, this is for admitted students who have submitted their seat deposits. There's scholarship available specifically for our health studies students, excuse me. Then, of course, for our research students, we have some departmental funding for our students that are in the research concentration thesis. So what's important about this is we all know that if you're doing research, you're going to need materials. You're going to need to be able to take your research and maybe present that at convention or conferences. It's important that our students have the availability to do that. So there are some departmental funding for our students that are in the research concentration. And then I'll go back to that teaching assistantship. Students in all three concentrations are able to apply for the TA position, but I want to give a little asterisk to the students in bioinformatics. You have to be taking some of your courses in person on campus in order to be able to be a part of the teaching assistantship. So lastly, one of the last things is our program catalog. Of course, if there's ever a question about the description of a class, what's required of you throughout your time as a graduate student, the graduate program course catalog is available to all students online in order for you to look over at any time while you're in our program. And how to stay connected with us. So most importantly, social media, email, of course. You email myself or call. But you can connect to us with social media as well. These are our social media accounts that are available to you. This is a great way to find out what events might be coming up through the admissions team, and sometimes for the departments, we will showcase some of the things that they are hosting as well. So now this is time for students to ask any questions that they would like. Again, using our Q&A section if you have any questions at this time, whether it's for me, for admissions, some to our alum that are here present with us today, or to our faculty and staff that are here from the department. Feel free. We'll open up questions for about 5-10 minutes. And then after that, we're thanking you guys for attending our virtual open house. For those of you who are unable to attend, you should be receiving the recording of this event shortly. But if anyone has any questions, feel free to go ahead and submit those questions inside of our Q&A portal.
Megan, I just wanted to update that we're not starting our health studies scholarship application process until May 15th and after.
Okay, wonderful. So for
change.
those that are here, May 15th is when the application process for health studies will begin. My apologies.
Oh, that we changed it, so thank you.
Okay, it does not look like we have any questions from the audience, but again, feel free. You see on the screen our Halmos admissions email address and phone number. If you have a question after today, feel free to reach out. And then inside the chat, let me see. Oh, yes. So if you want to see more information about the alumni, you can go to visit our NSU Works This page is kept up by Dr. Smith-Lavin, where she keeps up to date with some of our alumni and how you can find out what they're doing and where they are now. All right. So again, my name is Megan Troy. I am the Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions for Halmos College and specifically working with our Masters in Biological Sciences. I want to thank you all for coming today to our virtual open house. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to the admissions team or the faculty for the program that you might be interested in.